Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to my session of the Do It Scared conference. For one, I want to take a moment, man, to tell Pastor Chris Sands how much I love him. Everybody knows that's my best friend in the whole wide world. He don't have no more best friends. No more best friends. I'm his only best friend. He my only best friend. That title is already okay, I'm not going to act like that. But I'm so glad that you guys are a part of this conference, man. This conference is life-changing, and it will alter the trajectory of your life if you allow it. And I have the privilege to talk about rebounding, right? And we're talking about this whole do it scared aspect, but also we know that there is an aspect of doing it scared that we have to work past once we have quote unquote failed in the area. And why I say quote unquote failed is because failure is all about perception. It's how you view it. It's how you look at it. It's the way that you envision failure. And so my session is, how do you rebound after a failure? That's it. How do you rebound after a failure? And you know, I was going to have this basketball here, and then it slipped my mind, and yeah, all of this other type of stuff. But I want you to envision basketball. All right, come on. Think about it. Basketball. Think about basketball right now. Think about basketball. Think about how it affects you. Think about the fact that basketball, the game, think about people shooting. Think about the ability to shoot. Think about the ability to be active on a basketball court, right? So I want you to think about this. Basketball court, basketball rim, some of you all may call it goal. Now, I want you to understand that when it comes to the game of basketball, there is already a concession made for rebounding. It's a stat category, literally. You have points, you have assists, you have rebounds, you have blocks, you have steals, you have all of these different categories, and rebounding is one of them. So what does that tell us? Is that they tell us that in the course of a game, a rebounding is to be expected. You're not going to make every shot. That's literally what it's telling us. They have made rules for us to rebound. They've made rules for us to quote unquote fail. But check this out, that the moment you shoot the ball, if you miss it, they rebound. Someone rebounds it and they keep playing. They don't go out of the game because they missed the shot. You don't give up the game because you missed the shot. Here is the difference of basketball and life, business, relationships, whatever it may be, that you have to connect to the two. The difference is, I may have failed at my shot, but I'm not a failure. I may have failed at my shot, but I'm not a failure. And this is the way that you have to look at business. This is the way you have to look at ministry. This is the way that you have to look at everything before you start over again in the face of fear, that you begin to look at it from the standpoint of, I may have failed the shot, or I may have missed the shot, but I'm not a failure. What I did is not who I am. And that's the misconception that a lot of us have when it comes time for us to rebound, when it comes time for us to get back into the game, when it comes time for us to try again. What we do, we internalize and make what we failed at or make what we missed about us. We begin to internalize that thing and say, well, this is who I am, and I can't believe I failed, and I was so good. Now, let me pivot just for one moment. That's a basketball term. Let me pivot just for one moment and tell you this, that even though you may have took the shot, you may have missed, watch this, that it's a pride thing about why you can't rebound. Ooh, this is about to get good. It's a pride thing about why you can't rebound. The reason why it's taking you so long to rebound and get back into the game is because you expected to make every shot that you shot. That's a pride issue. You think you're so good, you're not going to miss. Now, I'm a LeBron James fan. Woo, I'm a LeBron James fan. But everybody got a problem with it, you just got a problem with it. I don't care what you got to say. I'm a LeBron James fan. I was raised in the Jordan era, but I'm a LeBron James fan. LeBron James does everything. He does everything well. But here's the thing about LeBron James. LeBron James has the ability to miss, but then also get back into the game. He doesn't allow what he missed to throw him off. Now, I want you to understand that there is a thing that we like to call in basketball cold streaks. That if a player's shooting shots they're missing, they say, oh, he's on a cold streak. If he starts making shots and he's making them consecutively, he's on a hot streak. And that's what we like to call it. And there'll be a season in your life where you feel that you have hit a cold streak, where you feel like everything that you're shooting up, everything that you're trying, every business that you're attempting, everything that you're trying is a cold streak. But here's the thing. If you talk to a coach will tell you that the best way To fight through a cold streak is to keep on shooting. I love it. They tell you to keep on shooting. They say you got to shoot the cold streak out. What do you mean? Like if I'm not making it, I just need to stop. I need to start passing the ball. They say no, because you got to go to the DNA of who you are. If you've been a scorer all your life, if you've been a success all your life, it's going to come back to you. It's called muscle memory. It comes back to you because all you got to do is keep on shooting. And then what they'll tell you to do is they'll tell you to take a layup. They'll tell you to do a dunk. It's something about the confidence of a close proximity shot and seeing the ball go through the net that makes it builds your confidence to say, you know what, if I made that layup, I can make this 10-footer. I can make this 20-footer. It's something about it builds your confidence. And what am I telling you? That if you're going to rebound, for one, you got to get out of your pride. Well, before you get out of your pride, you got to realize that I missed a shot, I failed at the shot, but I'm not a failure. That's number one. Number two, you got to understand this, that I am projected to miss something. I'm not going to be successful at everything. And I know we like to talk about in the church aspect, in the church world, that we got the favor of God, and with the favor of God, everything's gonna win. Everything's gonna be great. Everything's gonna be good. Not in every aspect. In some aspects, just because you failed in one particular area does not mean that the favor of God has lifted off of you. Stop just attributing to the favor of God to when things are going your way. The favor of God is also when things did not work out. Why? Why is that the favor of God? Because God didn't want you wasting your time in a certain area. I would love for God to tell me, don't do that, because I know that I'm not going to waste my time trying to make this work when it's not called to. I would much rather preserve my time, my effort, and my energy towards the area in which that God wants me to be in. So I got to understand that, hey, I may have failed the shot, but I'm not a failure. So I'm not going to internalize that. Then I got to understand, I got to get out of my pride that some shots I'm going to miss, but there's a category for that. There's a category for me to rebound. There's a category that says rebounds. There's a category that has already made a concession for me to miss. Then I also have to understand that in order for me to work through a cold streak, I gotta keep on shooting. I gotta keep on trying. I gotta keep on pushing. If I keep going, then it allows me to live on to see what is next. The problem with us is we get so discouraged by the fact that we missed, by the fact that we quote unquote failed, and by the fact that things aren't going our way that we want to give up. And the reason why you can't rebound is because you want to sulk in the fact that you missed. What good player? Now, I know, we'll take it back. We'll take it back. I know y'all remember Love and Basketball. Don't you remember Love and Basketball? I do. You remember Love and Basketball? You remember when she shot that shot and she posed? You remember? And she was so happy she made the shot. And then her opponent ran down the court. They threw the ball to her. She had an easy layup. And then her coach called her out, said, "You celebrated too long," right? Let me tell you. The problem is sometimes you're not celebrating too long. Sometimes you're staying in the same spot because you missed it. You shot the shot. You attempted the business. You applied for the loan. You did what you were supposed to do. You tried the relationship. You did everything you were supposed to do. You tried to move. You tried to start. You applied for that job, and then you didn't get it. And you sat there for too long. Next thing you know, it was another opportunity on the other end of the court that you missed because you were sulking where you last failed. I am telling you that the way you keep your head in the game is the way in which that you rebound. You have to learn how to rebound, and sometimes it's not rebounding in a basketball term. It's rebounding. You missed the shot. The ball comes off the rim. Somebody rebounds it, right? Also, what is rebounding? Rebounding is the ability to not necessarily I got the ball in my hand off the rim, but I rebound by getting back in position on the defensive end. I rebound my legs. I rebound my limbs. I rebound my mind to tell my mind, listen, I'm going to try again next go round. And if you're frozen in the last play, you're going to miss the next play. You're going to miss the opportunity to keep going. You're going to miss the opportunity of what could happen next. Now, what if I told you that the best or the biggest blessing of your life was on the other side of you, the other side of you rebounding and get out of your own mind about what you failed at? The problem that we have is that you're overthinking and you're thinking about what didn't go right. You're thinking about what you failed at, and you are not not getting your head back into the game. So what is this session all about? This session is to make me look at what I've done wrong, but also tell me that I'm not always expected to be right. But then on the flip side, also tell me to get my head back into the game. Life is all about rebounding. That's what life is about. You get knocked down, rebound. You failed, rebound. How many tests have you failed in your life? But how many classes have you passed in your life? You see that? I may have failed the test, but I passed the class. Just because I failed the test, I got to get my head back into the game so I can pass the class. Now, for my college graduates, for my high school graduates, for people that have just graduated from the school of hard knocks, everybody has failed a test somewhere. But the rule of the game is, or the rule of the class is, that just because I failed the test doesn't mean I have to fail the class. And it can be difficult, but it's all about how you rebound after you fail. If you really want to know what you're made of, you absolutely know that by what happens after failure. If you want to know your DNA, if you want to know who you are, if you want to know what's on the inside of you, it comes at the helm or at the cusp of failure. I am telling you now that you have to see what you're made of by how you rebound. You don't see what you're made of by the warm-ups and the warm-up line. If we're talking about basketball, let's talk back about basketball. You don't know how good a player. Now, I played basketball. I played basketball in high school, played basketball in middle school, played a little pickup ball in college, all that type of stuff. But let me tell you something. I was that player. I'm just going to be honest in this moment. Y'all in my session. All right, I started in middle school. I started in high school. I was pretty good. I would average a double-double, probably 10 points, 10 rebounds. I was okay. But I knew when I got to high school, I knew I wasn't going pro. All right, I knew it. I had a little height on me, but I knew I wasn't going pro. I didn't put the time in to go pro. I was a little too lazy in that aspect to go pro. But I'm going to tell you this. Let me tell you this about me. When I came out, I was fresh. I had every accessory you could name. I had a headband, had an armband, had the leg sleeve. I'm talking about I looked like Allen Iverson. If you looked at me, you would think he about to kill us. That's what it looked like. Because I looked the part. I looked like I was finna murder everybody on the court. I had everything. I begged my granddaddy to buy me stuff. And I had the newest J's. I would ball in the newest J's. Like people, they had the team shoes. Not me. I had the exclusives on. And if somebody hit the court with the exclusives, buddy, they about to murder you. They about to kill you. No, I wasn't doing all of that. I had to look intimidating because my game really wasn't all of that. Let me tell you, the problem that you have is that you look the part, but you're not trying to be it. And you only know what you're trying to be by the level in which that you rebound. If you can't rebound, you're not a good player. If you can't get your head back into the game because you failed or because you tried, you're not a good player. The caveat to you being an amazing player is how you rebound. We talk about the story of Michael Jordan and how Michael Jordan, in high school got cut from his high school basketball team. Go on to be arguably the GOAT, the greatest player of all times. We can argue that all day long. But the reality of it is, what if he would have stopped when he got cut? It's how he rebounded. All of us have a rebound in us. And it's about how you rebound that makes the difference. It's not about how smart you are. It's not about how talented you are. Because even the most talented people, somebody's not going to appreciate it. Even the smartest people, somebody's going to overlook it. But it's about how you rebound. It's about how you are resilient, how you get knocked down and get back up again. It's when I was a child, I had the rock'em sock'em, like you had the little rock'em sock'em, like you had the rock'em sock'em robots, you had the rock'em sock'em, like little inflatables, where they had like the sand at the bottom, and I would like punch it and it would come back to me. I would punch it, it would come back to me. It's the resiliency of the thing, and that's what I'm telling you. You have to have the resiliency to continue to rebound, and if you're going to do it scared, you're going to have to continue to do it scared over and over and over and over again. Every time you get up, there's another level of fear. Every time you get up, there's another level that is trying to talk you out of what you're supposed to be doing. Now, I'm just telling you this so we can finish up this session, but I'm telling you, you can't be so afraid of fear that you don't lean into it. I've now come to the place where I have just become friends with fear because I'm a resilient individual. So every time I get up, fear is in my face. And it's telling me you're going to fail again. Because what fear has, fear doesn't have the language for the future. Fear only has the resume of the past. So fear can only tell you where you failed in the past, but it can't tell you what could possibly happen in the future. That's where your destiny kicks in. That's where your optimism kicks in. That's where your mind begins to think beyond where you are right now. But your fear will continue to tell you, you remember when you tried that before? You remember you tried that relationship and it didn't work? You remember you tried that business and it didn't work? You remember you attempted that and that didn't work? And you remember you spent that money and you was crazy and you spent that money and it never came back to you? Yeah, it did. It just came to me in a different form. Now, it's all about you learning the lesson. And I'm telling you that you got to lean into fear and start embracing fear, because fear is going to be the thing that allows you to know that I have something that's bigger than me. If you could do it on your own, if you could do and accomplish everything on your own, of course you won't be afraid. But fear lets me know that I have something on my hands that's bigger than who I am. That's what fear lets me know. So I'm leaning into it because I'm embracing the aspect of fear. You know what? Fear is all right. And I'm going to lean into it because everything that I do and everything that I'm called to be is going to require some level of fear. And I got to be okay with that. So I'm just telling you, you got to learn how to rebound. All right? Understand that when I shoot the shot, I may fail. Failure is what I did, it's not who I am. I failed in the area. So let's identify that. It's not who I am, it's what I did. Then I can't be so prideful that I think that I'm going to succeed at everything that I do. Yes, you're going to succeed at a lot of things. And I guarantee you that you're going to succeed more times than you fail. But don't be so prideful that you think you're going to make every shot. Then you got to learn how to get out of your own head and stop overthinking every aspect and every move that you make. You got to get out of it. And I'm telling you now, be resilient, man. Step back up, get back to the plate, do what you got to do, step back on the court, lace up the shoes again, try again, shoot through your cold streak so you can hit the hot streak. And as much as you overthink the cold streak, you got to learn how to celebrate the hot streak. Yeah, I was cold for a while, but yo, I'm hot again. And you got to celebrate that. And so what am I telling you? Yo, rebound, and every time you rebound, you're going to be faced with the face of fear. It's going to be right there. It's going to be present. So don't find it strange when fear begins to talk to you and tell you where you failed last and tell you where your money ran out and tell you what you did that was crazy. You got to come to the place where you realize, you know what? This was for the season, but it's not for the lifetime. And because I'm not a failure, I know who I am and I know what I'm capable of doing. If I was capable to get on the court and do it before, I'm capable to get on the court and do it again. So I pray that this has blessed you. I pray that this has helped you in some level of aspect, and I'm talking about your practicalities and how you apply these things. I didn't load you down with scripture, and that's not what I'm here to do today. That's not what this session is about. But, you know, we have plenty of scripture reference where we could talk about people rebounding. We could talk about how David rebounded after the baby with Bathsheba died and his servants didn't want to tell him. And then, you know, he said, is the baby dead? And he picked himself up. He washed he took a shower, changed his clothes because he did not want to look like the season that he just came out of. He rebounded. And the Bible says that David learned how to encourage himself in the Lord. It's the rebound aspect. You got to learn how to talk to yourself sometimes. And I know people may call you crazy because you talk to yourself, but everybody talk to themselves. I talk to myself all day long. I just did it. The problem is you just don't like respond to yourself. Like, well, I do that too. Maybe I am a little crazy, but it's because I'm a rebounder. I'm a rebounder. That's my new term for myself. I'm a rebounder. I'm like Dennis Rodman. I'm a rebounder. That's what I specialize in. I rebound. I can't score a lot, but I'm gonna rebound. That's what I'm gonna do. And that's my word for you, man. Just be a rebounder. Be like David. Get up, dust yourself off, get back into the game and do what you gotta do. Be a rebounder. And that's my word for you. All right? Do It Scared Conference, man. Thank you for allowing me to come. Pastor Chris Sands, thank you for allowing me to be a part of this. You know, man, anything you do, I'm here for you. It don't even matter. You can tell me I'm doing a conference in Alaska. Guess what? I'm going to do it on the camera and send it to you. Nah, man, you know I'm going to be there. I love you, man. I'm so proud of you. Thank you, bro. You are the most loyal, innovative, smartest dude I know. I love you, man. And for everybody that's in this classroom, you just watch me celebrate my best friend. I give him his flowers while he's here. And you all just witness history because it's the first Do It Scared conference, and you are part of history. And I can't wait to see you again next year. All right, I love y'all. Y'all have a good one.